Good morning. Everybody hear me? Whoop, here we go. Hey, if you've, that'll get you waked up. Good morning, everybody. If you're signing up, do me a favor, even if you've already signed up. Next to your name, put if you're for the bill or you oppose the bill, if you don't mind. That way we can kind of separate everybody out just a little bit.
Probably should have brought it, but I just didn't.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. How's everybody this morning? Good. All right. Senator Walker, you want to come to the table again? Senator Larry Walker, the legend of cutting red tape and getting government out of our lives. He's made it sole goal in life.
Having me back.
I need that paper right there. All right. Good.
Mr. Chairman,
Let's go ahead and start on 373, and let's go ahead and do that part. On 373, y'all should have two of these. One of them, the one that we passed out the other day. Oh, they don't have this one. Okay, so you should just have one of them. LC 365845S. Is that what you have, Senator?
yes, sir.
Okay, and what we're doing here is we added some language the other day, and we're just simply taking that language out, correct?
That's right, yes.
Okay. And that would be, I don't even know, there was a bunch of different parts of it. But basically, we're just returning back to the original bill.
So, the,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so go ahead.
I believe the bill you passed out, Mr. Chairman, I believe was LC 365833S.
That would be correct, yes.
And it had 8 sections. There was language added related to licensed, excuse me just a minute.
Yeah, it was a qualified behavior analyst for autism.
And I had, been approached about that in the hall and was not interested in having that added to my bill. That's a discussion for another time. It didn't make it out of the House, that language, and there is some opposition to it. And
Okay.
So I just asked that, was hopeful we could take that out, which was sections 1 through 5 of the bill you all passed out. So now we're back to my original bill,
Which has to do
with marriage and family therapists, licensed marriage and family therapists. We got a mental health professional shortage, and this would really, really help in that area with a license, expedited license by endorsement, recognizing the national standards for that. And then basically section 2 is just cleanup language from a bill that was passed a few years ago for the associate professional counselors, where they needed to, it says 60 semester hours. I'm looking at line 25 and 6. 60 semester hours apparently is actually the equivalent of 90 quarter hours instead of 80. So that's just really a correction of that translation there from semester to quarters. And then it's removing the requirement that they have a doctoral degree. So they have to have at least a master's degree and 2 years of post-degree experience.
Okay. All right. All right, is any questions from any members on what we're doing on this? Okay. All right. At the proper time, I was the committee, be the will of the committee. Okay, so we got a do pass and a second on removing the language. So now we'll be going to the substitute LC 365845S. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I have. Yes.
All right, got a move and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right, got that taken care of.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a couple people. Y'all good? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you to the chair and to the committee.
Okay. All right. Dan Upshaw, you're good, okay. All right. So now we're gonna go to Senate Bill 354. And is it LC 0689, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's what I have.
Take away.
And as you mentioned in your intro, I've been kind of on a little mini individual crusade to try to cut red tape, streamline license and repeal licenses, that kind of thing. We've got some of the most onerous license requirements in the country. We've got a workforce shortage. We need to eliminate barriers to work wherever we can, I feel like. And in the cosmetology field, which I know this has been attempted several times, when I dropped a cosmetology bill, former Senator P.K. Martin called me and just laughed, and he had a bad experience, got, I think, killed over one. But this is very, very narrow, and what we're attempting to do, I've got all these talking points, but I'm better at just trying to talk to you like a conversation. What we're attempting to do is we're trying to carve out shampoo, people that only do shampooing and styling of hair, and people that only apply makeup, and not require them to have the $17,000 cosmetology course and the 1,500 hours of apprenticeship to be able to do those things. And I feel like it's a way for especially lower income people that can't afford the cosmetology school to enter the field and hopefully, start earning a decent wage and possibly go to cosmetology school and get their full license if they want to. But this is we are seeing, and Representative Earhart can probably tell you that I think they're called dry bars. I think that might be a brand name, but there are facilities or businesses that have popped up that all they do is shampoo and style hair, and it's become a popular thing, especially with wedding parties and I guess special occasions where people, like women in particular, like to get together and kind of make a party of getting their hair done. And I just don't see why they would need to have all of that expensive training and or coursework and the 1,500 hours to be able to establish that type of business. We did have some pushback, but quite frankly, the pushback was from people that have a vested interest and are making money by either educating with the coursework, charging for the coursework, or getting basically free or cheap labor for that 1,500 hours. We had no real evidence that the states that have relaxed this in these areas, there's no evidence that the public safety has been, put at risk. There was a court case that kind of piqued my interest. I think it was last year, and it went all the way to the Georgia Supreme Court. It was Jackson versus Raffensperger, and I was here when we passed the lactation specialist license, and I think I voted for it, frankly. I mean, it was a kind of a heartwarming one of those things on the floor. I think I probably voted for it. But anyway, it was challenged in court that was a barrier to entry, and the state did not have a compelling interest to require a license for that. And the court did rule in favor of the plaintiff that no, the state does not have, unless there's a compelling interest of the state for public safety or welfare, then the state cannot, under the Georgia Constitution, charge you to work. I mean, charge you a tax to work. And so this is a case where I feel like fits right in that. And I'm happy to kind of try to go through the bill line by line. It's very prescriptive what you can and cannot do, and I think it's very, I guess I would say, limited in what we're trying to allow. And one other note is makeup artists currently have an exemption if they're working in the film industry or if they're working at a retail makeup counter. And I would argue that a retail makeup counter is probably more susceptible to germs and problems where you have all the public coming in and out like they do than in a standalone salon. So to me, that's a no-brainer. I mean, and these are things people commonly do at their home. They can buy the products over the counter. They can do their neighbor's hair if they wanted to, and a license, of course, is not required for that.
All right. Well, I tend to agree with you. It's sort of kind of like working construction. You don't have to go get a general contractor license to start. I mean, first thing you do, you start carrying plywood, up on the roof and learn that trade, and then you move on. And so I agree with you that I think that may be a reason there's getting to be a shortage is people may, you try to go through the school, and you may figure out you don't even like it before you get there. But if you got this way of starting, figure out, exactly where you want to.
Yeah, so we heard testimony from 2 young African-American women that talked about what a struggle it was. One of them has now opened a salon, and I think she said she had 6 employees. But the student debt she had and the struggle to get in the field, and this is hopefully a easier pathway for folks.
All right, we've got a couple questions for you. Number 23.
Thank you so much for bringing the bill. I do appreciate it. You answered one of my questions already, which was I was going to ask you to clarify under what circumstances we currently in the state allow for the washing and blow drying of hair and the application of makeup. And you said it's in those commercial, like an Ulta or something, where customers come in and can have makeup applied, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see anything in the bill, and I've read it a couple of times previously, because I know we've heard a lot in the past when folks come to testify about burning skin or acid or things that can cause harmful reactions to the skin. I don't see anything in the bill that makes reference to the use of any of these sorts of chemicals. I think of things like when people get perms, those harsh chemicals, or when they get acid peels or things of that. Looks to me like everything included in this bill would be products that, as you said, can be purchased over the counter.
Yes, ma'am. I'll refer you to line 36 for part of that. It's the blow dry styling would exclude cutting hair, the application of dyes, bleach, reactive chemicals, keratin treatments, or other preparations to color or alter the structure of hair. Such practices are distinct from those performed by a barber, hair designer, or cosmetologist. But we're making it clear in that language that is not included or contemplated in what we're calling blow dry styling.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Representative Washburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Walker, I want to thank you for bringing this bill and commend you for doing this. I think it's an excellent bill. It's simple, it's to the point, and I appreciate you bringing it, and also appreciate your commentary about licensing in general in Georgia. I've been giving a lot of thought to this, and I've been in a heavy regulated industry for a long time, been in the real estate brokerage business, and I'm not suggesting we don't need to license real estate practitioners. But I do think we need to be looking at the whole licensure structure in our state. And your comment that we need to be making it easy for people to go to work and be able to work and earn a living and feed their families and pay taxes in the process is sound thinking. And I appreciate you doing this. And frankly, I'm giving some thought to some things that might be done in the future in some other arenas. And I'd be honored to have the opportunity to work with you on some of that if that's your thought on the Senate side.
Welcome that.
Yeah. So thank you for the bill.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I've got some people who want to speak on the bill. I think everybody says they're for the bill. Y'all want to speak, or y'all good? Okay. All right, so what's the will of the committee? All right, got a move to pass and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all accommodating me.
I think you might get some free haircuts. Not haircuts.
Not
sorry,
haircuts,
blow dries, blow
yeah.
dries.